I am a heathen, and whenever I make a cup of tea, I'll just keep the tea bag inside my cup and keep pouring hot water into it once I've drank all the previous tea until it gets so watered down that it's just hot water and there's like a random bag of leaves of no flavor inside. But I really enjoy that, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So this painting is just from a reference photo that I found on Pinterest. First, I put down a rough sketch and I turned that layer's opacity way down so I can barely see it pretty much, just so that I don't confuse the colors with anything else, and so that I don't accidentally draw on that layer, because that is the worst thing ever. Sometimes I'll do multiple sketch layers until I'm happy with it. Other times it'll just be one. For digital painting and making things not harsh, I found that it's all about brush opacity. I used to think blending was the only way to get really soft, gradient-ish painterly looks, but just turning the opacity of your brush down and doing a bunch of strokes close together, but not 100% overlapping, will actually make it look really nice and soft without being too uncanny valley, like everything is a gradient, DeviantArt-esque of a look. After that, it's just adding shadows and highlights, going back and forth. For this, yeah, I think I jumped around a lot because I would kind of get bored and I would be like, okay, I want instant gratification of making it look shinier. Another note, this time on extreme values. I used to think that for a color to really pop, I had to put it at full saturation or like go fully white or black, even though I've always heard the advice to not use pure white or black. I was like, oh, well, I'm different. That doesn't apply to me. But yeah, I guess just to add another voice to the chorus saying that, especially with wanting really bright whites, putting a gray in can actually often look white relative to the other colors. And it'll really look like a nice pure shine. You don't need to go fully white for that. Something I think about kind of a lot sometimes is how weird it is that tea is thought of as a super British thing, just because it like is objectively clearly not from the UK at all. I feel like, you know, it's a Chinese thing. Like, it was invented in China. It's been there for 5,000 years, according to a Google search I did before recording this. And I think it only got to the UK like 400 years ago. And it's also weird how Chinese tea, like senchas, are kind of thought as not like the mainstream tea. Like, I feel like mainstream teas are like chamomile and Earl Grey, and then like sencha is like this subculture tea, even though I'm like, I wonder if that came before. I don't know. I didn't Google that part. Oh, and of course, adding a background color and some shadow and just like sticking it in a place will always make it look a lot better. And here is the final product. Let me know if this video helped you or if there was something else you would want to hear about. I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about it, but I can try. I really just wanted to start this YouTube channel to keep myself motivated to do art, even if no one sees it. But if someone does see it, then that would be pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully you were able to get something out of this or be entertained by it for a bit. Thanks for watching.